So we are live now, sir. Panchajanya, the divine conch of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, which was blown during the Kurukshetra, indicating the start of Dharma Yuddha that followed. There, all the efforts were done for the establishment of Dharma. Dharma was kept over personal relations and motives. Keeping the same motto in the mind, our organization will work towards establishing the importance and necessity of following and imbibing Bharatiya culture, accepting our roots, and making people realize the true essence of Ayurveda, not only as a treatment modality but also as a way of life, all this while working in a path of Dharma. Hence the motto Shreyam Bharatiyam Arogyam Ayurvediyam. Our main goal is to reach every individual in creating awareness of our ancient knowledge and wisdom, its efficacy in the modern era, and link with current ongoing affairs, its revival, and most importantly, bringing everyone together in working towards establishing a strong system. In order for all this to be achieved, we have set up various wings with working principles and objectives that help achieve the goal faster and easier in coming years. They are Ahilya Bai Wing, Swami Vivekananda Wing, Karnata Bala Wing, Govardhana Wing, Ashwini Wing, Narada Wing, Kautilya Wing, Vedavyasa Wing, Nalanda Wing, and Sanjaya Wing. Coming back to the members involved in our organization, we have doctors, healthcare workers, teachers, students, and peoples from almost every single occupation available aiming at working together and bringing forward the true essence of Bharata and her traditions. So, all those who fit under these categories are welcomed with honor and privilege. Today, this evening, we have Dr. Ravikrishnan, sir, who has 8 years of teaching experience in research methodology and medical statistics. Sir, presently working as a head Folklore Medicine Research Center, SDM College of Ayurveda, Udupi. Sir guided 5 PG dissertation works. Sir presented papers in conferences, participated in seminars, workshops, and so on. Sir published many research articles in different peer-reviewed journals, especially in the field of medicinal plants, ethobotanical study, pharmacopoeial drugs, delivered many public awareness talks regarding Ayurveda, medicinal plants, cultivation and conservation of medicinal plants. Sir has participated in TV programs regarding health, Ayurveda, medicinal plants. Sir, we are very honored for having you on this session, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation. You can continue over the session, sir.
Thank you. Uh, at the outset, I'll like to congratulate the entire team who has working hard to revive Ayurveda and to learn Ayurveda. So today I'm going to discuss about the basics of Agadatantra. So I'm going to discuss the syllabus point of Agadatantra 1, 3, and 4. It is a vast topic actually, and here we are starting with the Agada Tantra. It has two words, Agada and Tantra. Agada means which is exactly uh, divide the person who is divide of Roga or Gada is Agada, and Tantra is the techniques which has to be imbibed by the person to get rid of the roga, and mainly Agada deals with the visha. Visha is a condition which requires emergency or immediate treatment, which requires a lot of techniques to get cured. Whenever a person is came in contact with visha, he requires energetic and emergency treatment, and it requires lot of techniques to save his life. That's why the word Agadatantra came into existence. And derivation of Visha, it is, as you can see, Vish plus Ka Pratyaya. So mainly, the definition of Visha says, Vishada Jananatvacha Vishamityabhidiyate. So mainly, we think Visha is a substance which enters in the body and it produces lot of complication. But according to Ayurveda, it mainly acts on the mind of a person, and because of that, the person gets immediate action to the Visha. And in the similar way, Jagad Vishnam Tam Društva Tenasau Visha Samnitam Vishamuchyate Vishadanath Hetoho. So whatever the definition, if we see, it's mainly focused on the manas. And another definition says Deham Pravishya Edravyam Dushayitva Rasadikan Swastham Pranaharam cha Syat Tad Dravyam Vishamuchyate. So here it initially takes away the health, then again the prana. So the drug which when come into contact with the deha, it initially acts on rasadi dhatu, and later it causes even death. That is termed as visha. And the paryaya of Visha has been mentioned as Visha, Shweda, Garala, Kalakuta, according to Rasatarangini. And in the similar way, the Nigantu, Raja Nigantu, who is very famous for giving lot of synonymous terms so that we can understand it in a better way. He has given the names like Darada, Aheya, Haridra, Neela, Halahala, Shringi, Bhugara, and Ghora. So all these are the Paryayanam of Visha. And if we are seeing the derivation of Agada Tantra, as I mentioned, it has two words, Agada and Tantra. So Agada is na gada. So without any disease. So that is called as Agada. Tantra is the Trayate Shariram Anena iti Tantra, or which are the techniques which has to be followed in order to get rid of the disease. So the important definition of Agada Tantra, when all of you should remember, is Agada Tantram Nama Sarpa Kita Luta Mushakadi Dashta Visha Vyanjanartam Vivida Visha Sanyoga Prashamanartam Cha. So this is one of the important definition which has been explained by Sushruta. So all the aspect uh, which introduced Visha to one person is Visha, and the Tantra or the science which deals with this Visha is called as Agada Tantra. And the Paryaya Namas of Agada Tantra, the different terms used in Ayurveda for Agada Tantra are Vishagara Vairodika Prashamana, Damshtra Chikitsa, Jangulika, Nakuli Chikitsa, Visha Chikitsa, Visha Vijnana, or Visha Tantra. So all these terms have been used or attributed to the science that is called as Agada Tantra. So you can get the reference about this Agada Tantra in Brahatrai, like in Chikitsasthana 23rd chapter, Sushruta Kalpasthana 1 to 8 chapter has been completely dedicated to Agada Tantra. Ashtanga Sangraha Uttara Tantra 40 to 48 chapters, and Ashtanga Hridaya 35 and to 38 chapter. So Visha Utpatti is one of the important aspect. We usually when we see Ayurvedic literatures or any Indian literatures, the different varieties of stories has been given to show the importance of that concept. So in the similar way, the Visha Utpatti has been explained. Like there is a story narrated, like we all know this important story, that is Samudra Mantana. During that, many things arised from the Samudra, and one thing which also emerged from the Samudra Mantana for the sake of Amrita. So the one important aspect came is Visha, and we know that Lord Shiva has consumed it and protected the whole society. And these stories are not mere stories; these are the things which gives the importance, or it will be showing the importance of that aspects and it also helps to remember the concepts of the particular thing, and that's why have to be very careful about the understanding. So even when we think these stories, see, there has been again given the importance of Vishada Jananatvaja Vishamitya Vidyate. So in all the textbooks, again, here in Ashtanga also same thing, like opinion, like Charaka Samhita, they have mentioned about the Samudra Mantana. Samudra Mantana is, we can also correlate with the our body, and we have uh, the aspect, like we have to do chintana and mantana. It is one type of mantana. It's not only sagara mantana. We also should see, always lot of negative thoughts will be coming to our mind, and very less number of good things will come, like amrita. So whenever we do every day, when we do the churning in our thought process, will be always come up with the, and like Lord Shiva, if we uh, if we suppress our negativity, we can also uh, able to get the amrita. That is the actual intention of narrating such stories. And if we are full of negativity, there is a chance of Visha, and that is the whole intention of explaining such stories in our classics. And the next topic, again, in the whole initial aspects of Agadatantra, the Visha Prabhava. So always Prabhava means anything which cannot be explained exactly. So whenever any karma happens uh, without exact samprapti, then we can say that it is of prabhava or prabhavajanya. And Visha and Vishagna karma is also the prabhavajanya. And Vishaprabhava has been explained according to dosha, where initially the Visha acts on specific dosha, by which it, it affects, and it localized in the areas attributed to that specific dosha, and initially the symptoms occur to that particular organ or the seat of that particular dosha. That is also considered to be the area of Visha, and it is Visha Prabhava. And again, as the Visha, as explained in Sushruta Kalpasthana, because of its qualities, which is very potent in nature, and because of its powerful action, the, mainly it aggravates the dosha and hampers the normal function. And as the Visha is not getting digested completely, and it hence it increases the kapha and obstructs the srotas, and because of that it is actually taking away the prana. And another reference says the poison, after entering to the body, first vitiates the rakta, leading to the features like different features like kota, mandala, sweda, romaharsha, etc. features will be occurring. And always the person will be liking to have the cold items, and always the visha instantaneously aggravates the dosha and vitiates rakta, and it will be leading to the death at the end. So again, another important topic is the Visha Pranaharana Kriya. So how Visha is causing the Pranahara, or how it is producing the fatality. So that has been explained in the Ashtanga Sangraha. Visham hi deham samprapya prag doshayati shonitam kapha pitta anilaschanu samadosha sahashayan tato hridayamastaya dehochedaya kalpate. So after entering into the body, the poison initially vitiates blood or rakta, then simultaneously vitiates the dosha, and respective ashraya ashray concept. So again, according to the dosha and dhatu ashraya ashraya bhava, it later it enters to hridaya, and vitiating normal functions of the body, and it will cause the death. That is the definition. Further, he says, as the Visha and Ojaguna are having exactly opposite quality, that is why Ojokshaya will occur. It vitiates the Vata the dosha and causes the death. And another cause for death is the Visha actually has the very quick action. It reaches the minute srotases immediately, instantaneously, and controls the Vata the dosha, and mainly Vatadayo uh, Vashamyanti Balino Api Abhalaiva. So, though a person is very strong, instantaneously it can produce the general debility, or whole weakness will be produced, and because of that, the person may die. And the again Pranaharana Kriya, it against the same thing. It spreads throughout the body instantaneously because of its Tikshna Ushna and Vyavaya Vikasi Guna, and it takes away the life, and that is has been explained. So next one is the Vishagati. So again, you should be aware about this. Jangamam syad adhobhagam urdhva bhagam tu mulajam tasmad damshavisham maulam hanti maulam cha damshajam. So always the Jangama Visha has the downward movement and the Stavara Visha has the upward movement. Hence, because of that, in our Ayurvedic literatures, they will be having the, if we came into the contact with Jangama Visha, the treatment will be with the Stavara Visha, and whenever the person come into contact with the Stavara Visha, the treatment will be the Jangama Visha. And Stavara Visha have the qualities similar to that of Kapha, hence it moves upwards, and Jangama Visha always have the quality of Pitta, hence it has the Adhobhaga or Adho Gati. And Visha Sankata. So again, one of the important aspect which is very important for your exams also. So Viksha Prakriti Kalanna Dosha Dushyadi Sangame Visha Sankatam Uddishtam Shatasya Ekoatra Jivati. So whenever a person gets in contact with Visha, if the Prakriti is Pitta, Kala is Varsha, Anna Sarshapadi, Ushna Dravya, if he might have taken, and Dosha Pitta, Dusha Rakta, then Satmyadi concept, if you take, when all these favorable condition occurs, the Visha Sankata is happening, and here the chances of survival is, or the prognosis will be very poor in condition. And the next concept in the Visha is the Shankha Visha. And again, it is one of the very important topic. Even for exam, you should learn this. Durandakare Vidyasya, Kenachit Vishashankaya, Vishodvega, Jwara Chaddi, Murcha Dahopi Vabhavet, Glani Moha Atisaramscha, Jane Shankavisham Matam, Chikitsitamidam Tasya, Kuriyad Ashwasanam Buddha. So it is just what it is a concept where a person during the night hours and because of the darkness, if anything is bitten, because out of fear and because of the udvega, the person may exhibit the features like jwara, chardi, murcha, daha, etc., and almost similar to that of visha, and it may produce the similar features of Visha, but again they have mentioned the treatment just Ashwasana. So If we are ensured that it is not a visha, it is not a any bite has been occurred, then one has to assure the patient, and that itself is the treatment for that condition. And next, coming to the visha guna, they have explained Ashtavegam Dashagunam Chaturvimshati Rupakramam. So hence the Visha has the 10 gunas. So different acharyas have been explained about the 10 guna. Laguruksham Ashuvishadam Vyavai Tikshna Vikasi Sukshmam Cha Ushnam Anirdisharasam Dashagunam Uktam Visha Tajnai. So any one of the shloka you have to remember, and all the acharyas have opined 10 gunas. There may be slight difference. Rest of the things are almost similar, whereas apaki or avyakta rasa, anirdya rasa, there is a slight difference, but entirely they have explained 10 gunas. And Shangadara explained Vyavaicha Vikasicha Syat Sukshmam Madavaham Agnayam Jivitaharam Yogavahi Smritam Visham. So these are the gunas explained to the Visha by different acharyas. And we have to know, so Visha, Madhya and Ojaguna. The difference between Visha, Madhya and Ojaguna. Usually Madhya and Ojas have almost a similar gunas, uh, but the Madhya has a little bit uh, in a lower aspect. It shows a mild effect, whereas Visha is producing instantaneous action. The rest of the gunas, when we compare with the Visha and Madhya, they are almost similar, and whereas Ojas is exactly opposite. Hence, because of that, when we consume Visha, or when we are come into contact with the Visha, or when we consume Madhya, there will be the depletion of Ojas, and because of that, it will produce the harmful effect to the body. So, coming to the classification of Visha, so Acharya Charaka has been explained Stavara and Jangama. Stavara is the plant or uh, the which is originated from the earth, and Jangama is the animal origin. And he also mentioned, or he also used the terms like Gara and Samyoga Javisha, but he has not exactly classified them. Whereas Acharya Sushruta classified Sthavara, Jangama, and Kritrima. He used the term Kritrima, and Vagbhata has uh, classified as the Akritrima and Kritrima Visha, and he uh, classified Stavara and Jangama Visha under the Akritrima heading, and the Gara Visha under the Kritrima. So this is the classification according to Vagbhata, and according to Vruddha Kashyapa, he has mentioned Visha as Tamara, Jangama, and Kritrima, or he also used the term Samyogaja, and the Kritrima is Savisha Dravya Samyoga Krita and Avisha Dravya Sanyoga Krita. So the Savisha Dravya Sanyoga Krita can be considered as Dushi Visha, and Avisha Dravya Sanyoga Krita comes under the Garavisha. So this is the classification of the Visha, and according to Rasatarangini, he has classified as Stavara and Jangama, and classified Stavara further into Mahavisha and Upavisha, and Mahavishas are like Halahala, Kalakuta, Shungaka, etc., and the Upavisha like which we study in our uh, Agadatantra, like Vishatenduka Bija, Ahifena, etc. So these are the classification, and Stavara Visha Samanya Lakshana. So Stavaram tu Jwara Hikka Dantaharshagalaggraham Pena Vami Aruchi Shwasa Murchascha Janayed Visham. So the Stavara Visha will produce these symptoms, whereas Jangama Visha produces the Nidra Tandra, Klamam Daham, Sapakam Lomaharshanam, Shopam Chaiva Atisaram cha Janaye Jangamam Visham. And how we can understand a person is after treatment got subsided or Visha Mukta Lakshana. So in our classics they have mentioned Prashanta Dosham, Prakritista Dhatum, Ahara Kamam, Samamutra Vitkam, Prasanna Varnendriya Chitta Cheshtam, Vaidyo Avagachet Visham Manushyam. So they have explained it is almost the similar to that of Swastha Purusha Lakshana. So Prashanta Dosha, Prakritista Dhatu, Ahara Kama, Samamutra Vitka, Prasanna Varnendriya, Chitta Cheshta. So all this, when we observe in a person, we can ascertain that he is free from the disease. And the similar thing, and acharyas have been explained about the Visha Upadrava. Jvarakasa, Vamishwasa, Hidma Trishna, Atimurchanam, Vidbedo, Atikatinyam, Anahu, Basti Murdaruk, Shwayatu, Puti Damshastam, Sarakto, Vishanilaha, Iti Shodasha Nirdishta, Vishartanu, Upadravam. So he has exactly mentioned the numbers also. So the 16 types of Upadrava they have enlisted like Jwara, Kasa, Vamishwasa, Hidma, Trishna, Atimurchana. So all these 16 types of uh, Lakshanas have been explained. Coming to the main aspect of Agadatantra is the Visha Pariksha. So we have two aspects in Visha Pariksha. One is Ayurvedic literatures, what they said about the Visha Pariksha and what our modern science are exactly mentioning. So when we classify this Visha Pariksha, so we can classify them under some of the headings like Panchabautika Pariksha, like Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandha. So Dalhana explained this where in the Visha Anna Pariksha, and this this is even today this is in the practice. If you go to temple, they used to offer the food to the fire initially before consuming. They used to offer the food to the fire, and if you keenly observe, if any sound of if the food is producing different varieties of sound, or when the food is not when you feel the food during its touch, if something is not regular, then we can suspect about the Visha. Rupa, especially when we offer it to the fire, if it produces the Neela Varna, like that of peacock neck, then we can ascertain there will be Visha. And Rasa, it can be inferred when the flies die after tasting the food. So we can assess the Rasa also. Gandha, if it produces the pungent, irritable smell, then we can suspect about the Visha. And the same thing has been explained. The Visha Pariksha about the Utpatti, Stavara and Jangama, as we have just uh, referred now, according to its Utpatti, how and the symptom of that Jangama and Stavara we can ascertain. Viksha Pariksha according to the animal experimentation. See, we or actually think that which animal experimentation was not there, but if you observe keenly about Sushruta Kalpasthana, Anna Pariksha, he explained uh, to protect the royal families from the Visha. Uh, so he explained the food will be offered to dogs and cats, and how the different animal exhibits the lakshanas. So he has explained it thoroughly in the form of Chakorasya Akshivairagyam Jayate Kshipramevatu. So in the different varieties of birds, animals have been enlisted. So, and what are the changes occur when they come into contact with the poisoned food has been explained in Sushruta Kalpasthana. So, this is one thing shows the animal experimentation. And the next one is the Visha Pariksha according to Guna. So if we are actually very good in ascertaining the gunas of a dravya, then we can ascertain surely the qualities of guna, because we have already studied the 10 gunas of Visha. If any drug has this sort of guna, when we can ascertain, and on the basis of uh, the symptoms. Any disease can be diagnosed and because of its symptoms, and in the similar way, for each and every type of visha, they have explained the symptoms like Jangama visha. We have just referred this Stavara visha will be exhibiting these features. Dushi visha will be offering these much symptoms. Gara visha will have these symptoms. And coming to the modern toxicological techniques for the detection of poison, again, it is one of the thing which we should remember, because uh, the modern science requires the evidence, and because of that, we have to be very cautious in living by taking the history, by observing the signs and symptoms, details of the examination and preservation, and lab investigation, such as ometus, excreta, stomach wash content, scrape from the stain, blood content, and all the content containers of the leftover food or drink. So usually, when a person is come into contact, we have to examine each and everything very thoroughly, and diagnosis of the poison in the living can be considered under two heading: acute and chronic poisoning. In acute poisoning, sudden onset of symptoms will be seen in a healthy person. So the person will be healthy and suddenly he feels sick. Then we can suspect about the visha, or the toxic substance, the contact of toxic substance. And usually, whenever the symptom occurs immediately after the ingestion of food, then we have to suspect about that food and drink. If all the other family members are affected with the similar condition, then we can suspect. Uh, if in a large gathering, if many peoples are affected, then we can ascertain about the acute poisoning. And the consumed food, medicine, or any other matters we have to analyze. And the corrosive poison leaves the external marks also. Irritant poison produce the cholera-like symptoms, and the spinal poison may produce the convulsions. And in the chronic poison, it may be slow and insidious in onset, the progressive according to the specific action of the poison. There will be It will be exaggerated after administration of the suspected food or medicine. There will be the malaise, cachexia, and depression, uh, gradual deterioration of the person, repeated attacks of diarrhea and vomiting, dis- uh, disappearance of symptoms when removed from the surrounding. When we see such symptoms, we have to infer about the chronic poisoning. And in dead, again, we have to consider about the history of the case according to the police and relatives. That is, collection of oral and circumstantial evidence has to be collected. Postmortem examination, chemical analysis, detection of poison in the body fluids, preservation of viscera, and experiment on the animals. In the dead, we have to follow these examination points: the history, and especially the oral evidence and the circumstantial evidence, postmortem examination, chemical analysis, preservation of viscera, and experiment on the animals. The postmortem examination is to establish the cause of the death. The external examination, some due attention has to be given to find out the clues. Wherever the smallest chance of detection of poisoning, we have to be very cautious and identify the poison and marks of stain of ometus or fecal matter or the poison or the blood. So color changes, by this also we can infer the different poison. So whenever the color changes have been observed, we can think about the different poisoning, like gray, which becomes black from blood, that is the sulfuric or hydrochloric acid poisoning may be suspected. Brown or yellow, then the nitric acid. Reddish brown, then hydrofluoric acid. Grayish white, the carbolic acid, and so on. So we can infer again with the help of these color changes and postmortem staining in the poisoning. Again, we can infer with the help of when we see the color of postmortem staining. If it is cherry red, then we can suspect about the carbon monoxide. If it is deep blue, then it may be carbon dioxide. If it is bright red or pink in color, it is cyanide poisoning. Or in the similar way, we can infer with the help of postmortem staining also, and we can even have the uh, odors, different varieties. See, this is what is explained in our Panchabautika Pariksha. So whenever with the help of darshanas or when we're Rupa Pariksha, or we can even smell and infer. So these are all the possible uh, what odor where we can suspect the poison, like garlic like smell. If it is felt, it is of phosphorus or heavy metal poisoning. And all these fruity or sweet smell will be felt by the ethanol or methyl or propyl alcohol. So all this can be inferred with the help of uh, the changes of the dead person. And in the similar way, internal examination, thorough internal examination of different viscera also gives the idea regarding the poisoning. That's why whenever we are doing the postmortem, we have to observe keenly about these viscera, which gives the uh, exact idea regarding the probable poisoning. And we have to go with all the possible way. The smell, the skull should be opened and detected for the odor changes. Mouth and throat, respiratory system, esophagus, heart, and individually stomach, duodenum, where we can see the obvious changes. Liver and kidneys, all the organs has to be examined thoroughly, so that we can uh, have a good idea regarding the poisoning. And any chemical analysis, so it is also very much helpful for the detection of the poisoning. And it is done with the analytical detection of the poison in the parenchyma of the organ of the body, and finding the poison in the food, medicine, fluid alleged to have been taken collaboratively. So anything we can infer. There are many tests which are qualitative tests, like ferric chloride test, Trender's test. Many tests have been explained by which we can, by performing which we can assess about the poisoning. And the quantitative tests, now it has been established, they like in the FSLs, the forensic science labs will have almost all the required instrumentations for like ultraviolet spectrophotometry, gas chromatography, HPLC, HPTLC, mass spectrometry, radio immune assay, enzyme mediated immune assay techniques, atomic absorption spectrophotometry, neuron activation analysis. All these will give even not only the quality of the poison, even we can have the quantitative analysis of the poisoning too. So even the chemical Animal experimentation is helpful. The suspected food, medicine, and fluid or poison extract from the viscera can be fed to the domestic animals, especially the dogs and rats, even experimental rats. Then we can observe the uh, way how it has been affected the human being. So, animal experimentation is also carried out to ascertain the poison. And the collection of the oral and circumstantial evidence, it is again having the major role. If a person has been recently purchased the poison, or any victim or accused, his behavior, uh, the conduct of those living with the victim, suicide note, history of quarrel, financial problem, anything, so which are circumstantial evidence, and such evidences has to be collected so that we can ascertain about the visha. Coming to the visha dhata lakshana, it is another important topic, especially for your exam sake. So we have to learn this. It is very important. So all these features, इंगितज्ञो मनुष्याणां वाक्चेष्टा मुखवैकृतिः विद्याद्विषस्य दातारम् एबि लिङ्गैश्च बुद्धिमान्. So if a wise person is able to understand these features, then we can ascertain who has given the visha. Like the nadadati uttaram prushto. If any question, relevant question is asked, if a person is not able to answer exact answer, vikshayan mohameticha, vivakshan mohameticha. So if anything is asked, he is a blank. If he is not able to answer properly, apartam bahu sankirnam bhashate chapi mudavat. So if he is speaking irrelevantly, sometime limited, sometime very complicated sentences. If he is uttering, then we have to ascertain about the Vishadata Lakshan. Spotati Angulim. So usually we have the, when we are in the stress, we'll be doing that. We'll try to uh, make sound from our fingers. That is called as Spotati Angulim. Bhumim Akasmat Liket Hase. So making different designs with the fingers of the feet, and we are trying to making the design over the ground. And liket has, so irrelevantly laughing. Vepatu, yes, there will be kampa, or the tremors will be there. uh, and he will be in the confusion state. He will be having vivarna of the face, and these features, when we are able to ascertain, then we have to think about the vishadata lakshana. In the similar way, Acharya Charaka also explained अत्यर्थ शंकितः स्याद् बहुवाक् अथवा अल्प. So either he speaks irrelevantly for a lot of time, but or else he may be quiet. So if we are observing such features, then we have to think that there is a chance of uh, the person has been given the visha. So visha data lakshana in the similar way. So Ashtanga Hridaya also explained all these features. It is almost similar to that of Sushruta. The next thing is the Visha Pita Lakshana. And again, it is frequently asked in the exam. It is very important for the exam. Fena Vamati Nisamnya Shavapata Karananaha Nasavasado Banga Ange Vidbedaha Shlatasanditaha Vishapitasya Dashtasya दिग्धेनाभिहतस्य च भवेत् भवति एतानि रूपाणि सम्प्राप्ते Jivitas, Jivitakshay. So all these features, like Phenum Vomati, if the person is uh, producing vomiting with the froth, and if he is Nissamna, if he is unconscious, and Shava Pada Karanana, if the discoloration of the face and Pada and Kara, if it is turning into bluish color, Nasa Sado Bango Ange. So if the person is feeling fatigue and if he is not able to get up, Vitbedaha, Atisara, or Shrata Sandita. So all the joints, if he feels stiff and if he is not able to uh, lift the limbs, Vishapitasya Dashtasya. So all these features are considered as the Vishapita Lakshana. And this is one of the famous shloka which has to be remembered. Savata Grahadumabham Purisham Yo Atisaryate Admato Atyartam Ushnasro Vivarnaha Sada Piditaha Udvattamefenam cha Vishapitam Tamadishe. So if person has been consumed the Visha, then the person has uh, the symptoms like the Savata Grahadumabam. So in with the lot of flatus, if he is excreting the feces, which is having the color of Grahaduma, or which is tar color or blackish color, and it is in the liquid form, and it is repeatedly excreting, and if he is feeling the distension of the abdomen, who is having the what warm tears, discolored and debilitated, and he will be complaining of the frothy secretion from the mouth, then we have to think that he is having the Vishapita, or he is having the symptoms of Vishapita. And another important aspect is the scope of Agadatantra. So in this initial syllabus points, that is 1, 3, and 4. One point is the scope of Agada Tantra. So, usually, as in Ayurveda, even for Agada Tantra, the Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshanam Aturasya Vikara Prashamanam can be applied to the Agada Tantra also. Protection of a healthy individuals from the poison and management of the individuals who is already affected with the poison. So, these are the major scopes. So mainly how to protect. So we have to create awareness. So we have to see in the recent days, unless like in the olden days where the kings are fed with the visha and they'll be given with visha, and there will be lot of complication. But in the present era, we are consuming unknowingly or unknowingly, we will be consuming lot of vishas in the form of adulterations, with the in the form of preservatives, with the in the form of different chemicals admixtured in the for the what business purpose. They will be adding lot of harmful chemicals and different things in the food, which will be causing the effect of visha only. So for that, we have to understand what are the potential Visha Dravyas recently used, so that how we can uh, better create the awareness, and how we can better way we protect our health from those chemicals. So such things can be studied in the Agada Tantra, where all the vishas can be understood and studied, and different research has to be carried out in that aspect, and we have to create the awareness into the public, and we can protect the health of the individuals. And even for the newer chemicals which have been uh, introduced and we are consuming in the form of food or air, there will be a lot of um, things where we are exposed to different toxins. Whenever any toxin is affected, how better we can manage with the concepts of Agadatantra. That is one of the most important aspect. We have to learn and we have to research. We have to come up with lot of solution. There are plenty of scope for Agadatantra where we can do lot of better things, and that has to be achieved. And with this, I'll conclude this class, and maximum things I have covered in this syllabus point. Uh, and once again, I'll wholeheartedly congratulate and thank the Panchajanya team for this wonderful organization of constant learning process, and that I hope it will be continued in future also, and the young doctors will come with the new ideas, and with this I'll thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. This was a very informative session where you have covered all the points regarding the topic. You have also mentioned what all the topics must be included in the answer while writing. Thank you very much, sir. Even in your busy schedule, and there was very technical issue last time, but you have took some time and you did this session. Thank you so much, sir. For thank you for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. All
Sir,
the best.
any queries
Yeah,
regarding this session will be forwarded to you, sir. Your answer
sure,
will be forwarded to the one who has the question, and
sure.
this session will be uploaded in the YouTube channel, Panchajanya YouTube channel, where maximum people can watch the video, sir. Thank you so much,
Okay,
sir.
thank you, thank you.